Georg Baselitz. Georg Baselitz is the painter who turned the world upside down, literally, to force people to see again. Born in 1938 in Germany, he grew up in a country rebuilding its identity after devastation. Art, for him, was never about beauty or comfort. It was about disruption, about breaking habits, about refusing easy meaning. In the late 20th century, when abstraction dominated and figuration felt outdated, Baselitz did something radical. He kept painting figures, but flipped them upside down. Heads at the bottom, feet at the top. Familiar images made suddenly strange. This was not a trick, it was a strategy. By turning his figures upside down, he removed storytelling and emotion from the image. Viewers could no longer rely on recognition. They were forced to focus on paint, color, structure, and surface. Baselitz became one of the central figures of neo-expressionism, bringing raw energy, rough brushwork, and emotional force back into painting. His canvases feel aggressive, unfinished, almost violent at times. They reject elegance, they reject polish, and that rejection became influential. Over decades, his work shaped European painting and challenged younger artists to embrace discomfort rather than decoration. Museums collected him, institutions studied him, the market followed his stubborn independence. Today, his estimated net worth stands at around $20 million, reflecting a long career built on refusal rather than compromise. Georg Baselitz does not paint to please the eye. He paints to interrupt it, to remind us that art begins where certainty ends. Bradford. Mark Bradford paints cities the way they actually feel, not the way they look. Born in 1961 in the United States, his path into painting was not traditional. He did not come from elite art circles or early museum attention. His understanding of the world came from streets, neighborhoods, labor, and survival. That lived experience became the foundation of his work. Bradford's paintings are large, layered, and physical. At first glance, they look abstract, but the longer you stand there, the more they begin to resemble maps. Torn surfaces, buried lines, erased paths, areas that feel built up, scraped away, and rebuilt again. Nothing is clean, nothing is accidental. He builds his canvases the way cities are built, through accumulation, conflict, and time. Paper is glued, torn, sanded, and ripped back open. Paint becomes architecture, damage becomes history. His work speaks quietly about power, inequality, and survival without illustrating any single story. You are not told what to think. You are asked to navigate the surface the way people navigate real urban life. This approach made him one of the most important American painters of his generation. Museums embraced the scale, collectors recognized the depth, institutions trusted his voice. Today, his estimated net worth stands at around $20 million. But Bradford's true importance is not financial. It is how he proved that abstraction can still carry social weight. That painting can talk about systems, neighborhoods, and struggle without turning into propaganda. Mark Bradford does not paint scenes. He paints environments, spaces shaped by pressure, memory, and endurance. Katz. Katz is the painter who made stillness feel modern. Born in 1927 in the United States, he built his career by doing almost the opposite of what the art world expected. While others chased emotional chaos or heavy symbolism, Katz stripped painting down to clarity, scale, and presence. His figures are calm, detached, often expressionless. Faces appear flat, clean, and sharply outlined. Backgrounds are reduced to simple fields of color. Nothing is dramatic, yet nothing is casual. This restraint is deliberate. Katz paints moments that feel frozen in time, like a second held just a bit too long. His portraits do not explain the person. They present them. Cool, distant, self-contained. The viewer is left to project meaning into the silence. Scale is key to his power. Many of his paintings are large, forcing you into direct confrontation with the image. You cannot glance and move on. You must stand there and absorb the presence. Over decades, this quiet consistency reshaped figurative painting. Katz became a bridge between modernism and contemporary realism, influencing fashion photography, advertising, and portrait painting without ever chasing trends. Collectors responded to that confidence. Museums trusted his vision. His market grew steadily rather than explosively. Today, his estimated net worth stands at around $50 million, built on discipline, patience, and refusal to over-explain. Alex Katz does not paint drama, he paints presence. He shows that sometimes the most powerful image is the one that does not ask for your attention, but calmly takes it anyway. Gerhard Richter. Gerhard Richter is the kind of painter who refuses to belong to one answer. Born in 1932 in Germany, he lived through a country split by war, ideology, and rebuilding. That instability shaped his mind. Instead of choosing one style, one truth, or one visual language, he chose uncertainty, and he turned it into power. Richter paints realism with the same seriousness as abstraction. Sometimes his images look like old photographs dragged through fog. Faces blurred, buildings softened, history half remembered, half erased. Other times his canvases explode into color, thick layers scraped, dragged, destroyed, and rebuilt. No figures, no story, only movement, chance, and tension. Then he switches again, color charts, grids, cold systems, mechanical order. Most artists spend their lives protecting one identity. Richter dismantled his. That refusal to settle became his greatest contribution to contemporary painting. He proved that contradiction could be honest, that uncertainty could be a method, that doubt could be a visual language. Collectors followed this complexity. Museums followed his seriousness. His works reached record prices at auction, placing him among the most financially successful painters alive. Official estimates often place his net worth around $40 million, though some reports in Germany once suggested a figure far higher, which he publicly rejected. But money was never his statement. His statement was this: painting does not exist to explain the world. It exists to admit that the world cannot be explained. Gerhard Richter does not offer answers. He offers clarity through uncertainty. Yayoi Kusama. Yayoi Kusama did not paint the world the way she saw it. She painted the world the way it refused to leave her mind. Born in 1929 in Japan, she grew up experiencing intense visions, patterns that repeated endlessly, dots spreading across space, shapes multiplying until there was no clear beginning or end. What frightened her as a child later became her language as an artist. Polka dots, not as decoration, as obsession, as rhythm, as a way to dissolve the self into something larger. When she moved into the international art scene, her work felt impossible to ignore. Canvases filled with endless marks, colors that vibrated, spaces designed to make people feel both infinite and small at the same time. Her paintings do not tell stories, they surround you. They repeat until your eyes surrender. They turn simplicity into intensity. For decades, she worked quietly, sometimes misunderstood, sometimes dismissed, but never silent. Over time, the world caught up to her vision. Museums embraced her, collectors competed for her work. Her visual language spread into fashion, design, architecture, and popular culture. Today, she is one of the highest-selling female painters in history, with an estimated net worth of over £20 million, roughly $25 million. But her true achievement is deeper than numbers. She turned personal struggle into visual order. She turned repetition into identity. She turned a single dot into an entire universe. Yayoi Kusama does not paint to escape reality, she paints to survive it. Richard Prince. Richard Prince is the artist who asked a dangerous question: what if creating something new is not always the point? Born in 1949 in the United States, he emerged at a time when images were beginning to flood everyday life. Advertising, magazines, billboards, television, pictures everywhere, repeating the same desires again and again. Prince did not try to escape this world, he copied it. He took existing images from mass media and reused them, slightly altered, stripped of their original context, and placed them inside galleries. Not to decorate them, but to expose them. His work sits in an uncomfortable space between theft and invention, between originality and repetition, between art and commerce. That tension became his voice. Through painting, photography, and printmaking, he forced viewers to confront how modern identity is built from borrowed images, how desire is manufactured, how culture recycles itself until the copy becomes more powerful than the original. Many people were angry, many were confused, but the art world listened. Prince helped define appropriation art as a serious movement, influencing generations of artists who questioned authorship, ownership, and meaning in the age of mass reproduction. Collectors followed controversy, museums followed influence. His reputation grew quietly but steadily. Today, his estimated net worth stands at around $30 million, but his real legacy is not money. It is the uncomfortable mirror he held up to modern culture, a reminder that in a world made of copies, originality is no longer simple. Country of origin, United States. Bridget Riley proved that painting does not need stories, faces, or symbols to be powerful. Born in 1931 in the United Kingdom, she entered the art world at a time when emotion and personal expression dominated modern painting. Many artists were focused on feelings, chaos, and identity. Riley chose something radical: control, precision, vision. She painted patterns, lines, curves, repeated shapes arranged so carefully that the eye begins to move, even when the canvas is still. Her works do not sit quietly on the wall. They vibrate, they pulse, they challenge the viewer's sense of balance. This became known as op art, short for optical art. But for Riley, it was never about tricks. It was about perception, how the human eye works, how the brain tries to organize chaos, how simple forms can create tension, movement, even emotion, without showing anything familiar. In the 1960s, her paintings changed the direction of abstraction. Suddenly, art was not only something you looked at, it was something you experienced physically. Museums around the world collected her work, designers borrowed her visual language. Architects studied her sense of rhythm. Generations of artists learned that discipline could be just as expressive as freedom. Over time, her quiet revolution turned into lasting influence. Today, with an estimated net worth of around £85 million, roughly $100 million, Bridget Riley stands as one of the most important living painters in British history. She did not paint the world, she painted how we see it. Takashi Murakami built a bridge between the museum and the street, and then invited the whole world to walk across it. Born in 1962 in Japan, he trained in traditional Japanese painting, learning discipline, structure, and historical techniques. But he quickly realized that modern culture was no longer living in temples and scrolls. It was living in cartoons, in toys, in advertising, in bright screens. So he created what he called superflat, a style where everything is bold, clean, colorful, and intentionally shallow on the surface. Smiling faces, perfect flowers, cute characters, smooth shapes that feel playful and harmless. But underneath that softness is something sharp. Murakami uses beauty to talk about obsession, repetition, consumer hunger, emotional emptiness hidden behind constant entertainment. His paintings look friendly, but they are deeply calculated. He erased the border between high art and popular culture. Galleries welcomed him. Fashion brands followed him. Music, design, and street culture absorbed his language. Suddenly, contemporary painting was no longer quiet or distant. It was loud, commercial, joyful, and disturbing at the same time. Over the years, this strategy turned Murakami into one of the most influential Asian artists of all time, and one of the wealthiest living painters, with an estimated net worth of around $100 million. But his real achievement is larger than money. He proved that modern painting could survive inside pop culture without becoming weak, that it could smile and still be dangerous. Anselm Kiefer. Anselm Kiefer paints like someone carrying the weight of history on his back. Born in 1945 in Germany, in the same year World War II ended, he grew up surrounded by silence, ruins, and unanswered questions. His country was rebuilding, but its memory was broken. And Kiefer chose to paint inside that broken space. His canvases are not polite. They are huge, heavy, dark, thick with rough surfaces that look burned, scratched, buried, and dug back up again. You do not just look at his paintings. You stand in front of them, the way you stand in front of old buildings or empty battlefields. He works in the language of myth, memory, and time, not to decorate the past, but to confront it. His paintings feel like landscapes after something terrible has already happened. Kiefer became one of the leading voices of neo-expressionism, bringing emotion, history, and physical weight back into painting when much of the art world was becoming clean and conceptual. Collectors were drawn to that seriousness. Museums gave him space to work on a massive scale. Over time, his influence spread far beyond Germany. In 2017, he was listed among the wealthiest artists in his country. Today, his estimated net worth stands at around 100 million euros, or roughly $110 million. But money is not why his work matters. Kiefer proved that painting can still carry memory, still carry guilt, still carry questions that do not have comfortable answers. He does not paint to entertain, he paints to remember. David Hockney. David Hockney is living proof that painting does not grow old. Only artists do when they stop being curious. Born in 1937 in the United Kingdom, he emerged in the 1960s, at a moment when the art world was breaking itself apart. Abstract painters were chasing emotion, pop artists were chasing fame and consumer culture. Everything was loud, everything wanted attention. Hockney chose something quieter. He chose to look. He painted ordinary life with extraordinary care. Rooms, friends, water, trees, roads, light passing through windows. Simple moments that most people ignore, but he treated them as serious subjects, worthy of time and patience. His colors became his signature. Clear blues, sharp greens, soft pink skin under open sunlight. His paintings feel open, calm, and honest. They breathe. But what truly separates him from many legends is this: he never became comfortable. As decades passed, he refused to repeat himself. He moved between countries, changed his environments, and challenged his own habits. When computers and tablets appeared, he did not complain about technology killing art. He picked them up and painted with them, not to replace brushes, but to expand what seeing could be. That mindset kept him alive inside modern culture, not trapped inside history. Collectors followed, museums followed, generations of young painters studied his courage to stay curious. Today, with an estimated net worth of around $150 million, David Hockney stands as one of the most important living painters in the world. Not because he mastered one style, but because he never stopped learning how to see. David Choe. David Choe is what happens when street chaos collides with fine art success. Born in 1976 in the United States, he started far from galleries and collectors. His early world was walls, sketchbooks, cheap paint, and raw instinct. No polish, no permission, just speed, emotion, and survival. His style carries that energy to this day. Wild lines, violent color, faces that look half human, half explosion. Figures that seem to be shaking inside the canvas. His paintings don't sit still. They argue, they sweat, they feel restless. Choe never tried to clean that up. Instead, he dragged the street into the white walls of high-end art spaces and refused to soften it. That tension became his identity, too raw for traditional taste, too skilled to ignore. Then came the decision that changed everything. In 2007, he was offered cash or company shares for a painting job. He took the shares. The company was Facebook. That choice turned him from underground artist into multimillionaire almost overnight. But money did not reshape his voice. He continued painting the same unstable world. Angry characters, broken confidence, humor mixed with threat, freedom mixed with damage. Today, with an estimated net worth of around $300 million, David Choe stands as proof that contemporary painting does not have to come from art schools and perfect studios. It can come from risk, from instinct, from refusing to become polite. Jasper Johns. Jasper Johns is one of the quiet architects of modern painting. Born in 1930 in the United States, he arrived at a moment when art was trapped between chaos and decoration. On one side, painters were pouring emotion onto canvases. On the other, popular culture was starting to flood galleries. Johns built a bridge between both worlds. Instead of inventing new images, he chose the most familiar ones possible. Shapes everyone already knew, symbols people stopped noticing, ordinary things that felt invisible because they were everywhere. He took what was already accepted as normal and forced people to look again. But he didn't paint them simply. His surfaces were heavy, layered, scraped, rebuilt. Paint became an object, not just a color. You could feel time inside his canvases, repetition, pressure, thought, doubt. Nothing was decorative. Everything carried weight. This approach quietly changed the direction of contemporary painting. Artists realized that meaning did not need dramatic storytelling. It could live inside structure, inside texture, inside restraint. John's became a foundation stone for what followed. Conceptual art, pop art, minimalism. They all passed through his shadow. Over decades, his influence spread across museums, schools, and generations of artists. Collectors followed, institutions followed, wealth followed. Today, his estimated net worth is around $300 million, but his deeper legacy is this. He taught painting how to think, not loudly, not emotionally, but carefully, and that changed everything. George Condo. George Condo paints the human mind when it is no longer trying to look normal. Born in 1957 in the United States, he developed a style that feels funny at first glance, but unsettling the longer you look. Faces collapse into themselves. Eyes drift apart, smiles become masks. Beauty and ugliness share the same body. He calls it artificial realism. It is realism because his paintings are deeply human, and artificial because nothing is stable. Everything feels slightly broken, exaggerated, stretched, or distorted. Condo studied the techniques of classical European painters with serious discipline. The lighting, the anatomy, the brush control, the structure. He mastered tradition first, then he corrupted it. Instead of noble figures, he painted psychological creatures. People that look like they are made of memory, anxiety, arrogance, desire, and confusion at the same time. His characters often feel trapped inside their own heads, smiling while collapsing. This strange balance between technical perfection and emotional chaos became his signature. Over decades, collectors, museums, and major galleries pushed his work into the highest level of the global art market. Today, his estimated net worth stands at around $400 million, but his real importance is not the money. It is how he proved that painting can still explore the human mind in an age dominated by photography, screens, and algorithms. He made inner damage visible. He turned psychological noise into visual form. George Condo does not paint people as they are. He paints people as they feel inside. Ruscha. Ruscha is one of those artists who changed painting without raising his voice. Born in 1937 in the United States, he came of age at a time when American art was loud, emotional, and dramatic. Abstract expressionists were throwing paint like storms. Pop artists were celebrating fame and consumer culture with bright colors and noise. Ruscha went in the opposite direction. He chose silence. Instead of faces, he painted words. Instead of stories, he painted distance. Instead of emotional chaos, he painted calm surfaces that looked almost empty. Single words, short phrases, floating in space, clean skies, flat buildings, endless roads. No message explained, no emotion handed to you. Just presence. His paintings feel cold, but not empty. They feel controlled, deliberate, and strangely heavy. You stand in front of them and realize that the absence of emotion is the emotion. Working from Los Angeles when New York still dominated the art world, Ruscha helped prove that serious contemporary painting could exist outside the traditional centers of power. He turned ordinary American landscapes and simple language into quiet symbols of modern life. Over time, his visual language spread far beyond galleries. Graphic designers, advertisers, filmmakers, and street artists borrowed his calm typography and detached mood. His influence became invisible, but everywhere. Today, with an estimated net worth of over $1.2 billion, Ruscha stands as one of the richest and most important living painters. Not because he shouted, but because he taught painting how to whisper. John Currin. John Currin is one of the strangest success stories in modern painting. Born in 1962 in the United States, he didn't follow the safe road that most artists take. While many painters tried to be abstract, political, or fashionable, Currin did something risky. He painted beautiful traditional images that looked old, but felt uncomfortable. His style borrows from classical European painting: soft skin tones, careful lighting, perfect technique. The kind of skill you would expect from artists who lived hundreds of years ago. But then he twists it. The faces are exaggerated, the bodies are distorted, the expressions feel frozen between elegance and satire. You are not sure whether to admire the beauty or feel disturbed by it. That tension is his signature. Collectors noticed early, museums followed, prices climbed, and quietly, John Currin became one of the richest living painters on Earth, with an estimated net worth of over $1.4 billion. Yet his importance is not only money. Currin proved that technical painting still matters in a contemporary world dominated by concepts and installations. He showed that you can master tradition and still be modern, that you can respect the past and still mock it. Today, he stands as a reminder that painting does not need to shout to be powerful. Sometimes it only needs to smile politely, while hiding sharp teeth underneath.